Everyone, this is Rachel. Thanks for clicking on my video. And today, y'all, I came in to talk about Tamar Braxton and all the stuff that's going on with her here lately. Now, let me just say up front, I am no Tamar Braxton fan. It's not that I dislike her, I'm indifferent. I'm a little bit older, so I have a different taste in music, and I more so fell in line with Toni Braxton. Okay, so I just wanted to put that out there up front so you guys will know what angle I'm coming from. So a few weeks ago, I heard about, the suicide attempt that she made, and my heart went out to her as a woman, as a mother, and just someone out here trying to make it. I started to wonder what was going on with Tamar back then when we heard about that, because Tamar seems so self-assured. She has a lot going for her. She's famous, she's rich, and all of that. But as a woman, when I thought about, the things that they said at the time were going on in her life, I believe that it all became too much for her. Here's what I feel with Tamar. She sat and she watched her sister, Toni, get into the music industry, um, become popular, making all this music, all this money and all of that. And she wanted it for herself as well. Because let's face it, pretty much all of them can sing. And Tamar really has a nice voice. So, it was something that if you're a singer, it would be an ultimate dream for anyone who could sing. To get that first hit, become famous, your music is out there, and you're doing what you love. But I think when it came to Tamar, the fame came too fast because her sister was already famous. She kind of rolled in on Toni's coattails. Now, once she got in the door, she got up off those coattails and blazed her own path and became the Tamar that we all knew about. But sometimes, when that fame comes too fast, you really don't have time to prepare psychologically in your spirit and all of that. It's instant fame. Toni's was a slow rise to fame. And so, it happened over a course of a number of years. So she grew into that fame. With Tamar, it was instant because they had a show on television. She had her sister Toni. They were being put out there, and, fans fell in love with her. Her sassiness that first season of the Braxton'S, and that's how she came about. Now, just recently, I read something that kind of bothered me about this whole situation with Tamar. I read that this man that she's been seeing had to file a restraining order against her. So, as a woman, when you hear something like that, you kind of pause and be like, well, wait a minute. He filing a restraining order against her? Now, I also heard things that were coming out of her family saying that since Tamar got with him, she had changed a little bit. They noticed that he was a little controlling, and I guess they didn't like the Tamar that Tamar became when she was with him. Now, that sent up a red flag to me, because the first thing I said, and this is why I started the video letting you guys know that I'm not a big fan or anything. But the first thing I heard the first thing I thought when I heard about this restraining order is, I'm wondering, when she got with this guy, she fell for him after Vince, and it was a new man, a new relationship, and she was all into it. They said that he was stepping into parts of her business world, her career and being a little too outspoken when he wasn't the star. Tamar was. They said that he had a lot to say about that show that she was going to do. And, all up in her business. So I'm wondering, did all of this start bubbling in Tamar? Now, we all know Tamar could be sassy, she could be mouthy, but the person that her family was describing when she was with this man was out of character for Tamar. She wasn't our sassy Tamar. She was letting this man kind of take control a little bit or step ahead of her a little bit in her career. So I'm wondering, did Tamar just come to a point where she said, oh, wait a minute. Hell, I'm Tamar Braxton. And he is not, I done came to my senses. I was trying to, be a little more, open and invite him into my world. But wait a minute, he ain't about to take over. And she clocked on him. If that's the case, I don't blame her. If he was overstepping his bounds. Now, y'all, I don't know this to be true. I'm the type of person, I hear what's going on, and then you think of the character of the person. So I'm with her family. If Tamar was allowing him to, just for a little bit, giving him a little bit more say in her career and what was going on and her show and all that, just trying to be different than maybe she was when she was with Vince. But then Tamar started seeing that I gave him an inch and he's taking a mile. And Tamar came, snapped back to her senses and became the sassy ass kicking Tamar that we know. Can't say that I blame the girl. I really don't. Now, we don't know, the reasons that he gave for requesting the restraining order. And I heard that it has not yet actually been granted. So I don't know if the courts are, looking into it or, have they contacted Tamar to get her side of the story or what is going on. But all I'm saying is this. If the reason why he had to get the restraining order was because Tamar snapped back to her senses and became the Tamar that we knew, and, trying to inject him or eject him out of her business, like I said, I can't blame her, And maybe she clocked on him and he probably being extra when it got, because he knew it would make the media, make all of the gossip columns and all of that this man, when it took out a restraining order on Tamar, he trying to get his 5 minutes of fame. Y'all, it could be just that simple. I am going to pay attention to this because obviously these past few months, Tamar has been going through something. And while I don't, well, let me just put it this way. While she's not one of my favorite entertainers, I just think she's okay. But again, it's because I'm older, and I like a different style of singer. I like a Gladys Knight and, Aretha Franklin. So y'all see where I'm coming from. A Whitney Houston and stuff. But it doesn't mean that I can't relate to Tamar on the level as a woman. Sometimes, y'all, when we get into these relationships and it's new and you're trying to do things different than the way you did in your past relationship, you may be a little bit nicer because you notice in your other relationship, you and the man argued a lot. So you vow to yourself, well, this time I'm not going to be argumentative. I'm going to do this. I'm going to try to do that different. And she tried all that, but she tried it with the wrong person. And like I said, it sounds like he overstepped his mark. Even to when he had reported that she had attempted suicide, he was a little too extra with that to me, because they said even when he was speaking to the 911 operator, he had mentioned, something about her losing the show and all of that. Now, the reason why I bring that up is because you're calling 911 for a possible suicide attempt. Get the help there and get off the phone. We are dealing with a celebrity. You don't have to be putting all of her business out there like that on those calls that we know are recorded, where, TMZ or one of those rag mags get wind of it, and then they run it front page the next day. All he had to say is, I have a female here who I believe has, attempted suicide. I need someone here immediately. Then when they get there, explain, all the things that had occurred, that you believe led up to this attempt that Tamar had done. You don't have to put all her business out there like that. And y'all, I wanted to know what y'all thought of it. Did you hear that he had taken out a restraining order against Tamar? And what do you think that she did that caused him to do that? Like I said, I just believe that Tamar was trying to be nice in this new relationship, probably trying to do things different. Stuff got out of hand, and she said, fuck this shit, I'm about to go back to the old Tamar. And his punk ass when they got a restraining order. So that's what I think of it, y'all. Let me know down in the comments what you think, and we are going to pay attention to this, because even though, she's not like my favorite artist, I'm rooting for her. She has a little boy that right now he needs his mom. He needs her, to be 100 so she could do a good job in raising him. Tamar needs peace in her life so she can get back to the fun-loving Tamar that she was. She needs her family around her, to uphold her during this time. And she also needs us to kind of step back and let her just be a woman out here in this world having problems, and us not attack her. Because see, this video that I did, by me not really being a fan of hers, could have went the other way. But I look at it from, a human level, the humanity, the mother Tamar is, the daughter that she is, the sister that she is. And I look at it from that aspect, y'all. So let me know down in the comments. As always, thanks for watching my video. You guys stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye now.